It's a great day to be in the Bitcoin miners. We have some absolutely rallying. We're going to talk about what's going on. We're also going to talk about Cleanspark and their recent mining update. Let's not waste any time. Let's get right into their May mining update. Last month, Cleanspark mined 417 Bitcoin. They're sitting at 6,154 Bitcoin in their holdings. They've nearly got $500 million in crypto holdings alone. As said by Zach Bradford, we've outperformed industry expectations as well as our peers in our first full month of production after the block reward halving. Remarkably, our post-halving production has also outpaced what some of our peers achieved prior to the halving. We have continued with our progress and are making meaningful gains and upgrades. For example, we achieved a high mark of nearly 18 exahash per second while driving our efficiency even further to 23.05 joules per terahash. As we continue to grow our hash rate, we're on a trajectory to rapidly recover our production to pre-halving levels. Meanwhile, as we maximize the performance of our existing fleet, we remain highly active in the M&A space. We expect to close on the first site in Wyoming in the coming days and continue to aggressively seek additional opportunities that align with the Cleanspark way. We will continue to provide transparency and updates as we have them. In fact, we recently had our first ever retail investor day. I know many of you guys went to it, and that's awesome. I wish I could have been there. It was held at the immersion cooled facility in Norcross, Georgia. I'd like to thank our investors who were able to take time out of their busy schedules to attend and meet with us. If there's any more of you that went to the Investors Day, please tell us how it went. As for Bitcoin mined in May, like I said, 417 Bitcoin. For the full year so far of 2024, they mined 3,169. Their total Bitcoin holdings is sitting at 6,154. The total Bitcoin they sold in May is 2.43. That is fantastic. I like to see that they are fully focused on hodling. Now is still the time for these miners to focus on hodling. They have a deployed fleet of 134,464 Bitcoin miners. Their month-end efficiency was 23.05 joules per terahash. Very efficient. Current hash rate just a hair under 18 exahash. And the 2.43 Bitcoin that they did sell, they sold at an average price of approximately $59,000. May daily Bitcoin mine average was a 13.45 and they reached a high of 15. They do have an update on the Dalton expansion. Grading is complete and building permits have been issued. Conduit installation for the primary cables is complete and concrete forms are being installed. Once complete, the expansion will run a fleet of S21s in a 15 megawatt facility for a hash rate of approximately 0.8 exahash. Now, here is a pre-halving month. I'll leave that down below for you as well, but you can tell in general that even with the halving cutting rewards in half, they are still mining more than half of what they were mining back in March, for instance. Their month-end fleet efficiency has improved, and they did mine a little less than double in a pre-halving month compared to the last update here. There are a lot of miners performing better than Cleanspark today. Cleanspark's up like 3-4% today. We have others that are doing much better. And many people are saying, you know, dump Cleanspark, dump X stock and buy Y stock, get into iren. Cleanspark already had its run. Iren is going to go to 20 now or whatever people are saying. And sure, that's, you know, possible. I'm very bullish on iren too, but I don't think you want to dump a stock like Cleanspark for a stock like iren. Is it normal for a stock to run 76, nearly 80% in a matter of less than a month? It's not normal, no. And while it's great that it's running, you know, just exercise caution. Try not to chase something like an iren. Unless you know what you're doing, unless you're setting a stop loss, unless you're mitigating some risk, I would be cautious. You know, every time a stock like iren, any Bitcoin miner for that matter, every time we see a big rally like that, we do see a retracement. Look at the past. We see a pullback. We see big pullbacks. Is iren going to have a big pullback again? Maybe not. Is it going to at least retrace a little bit? I do think so. Is there going to be a better buying opportunity in the future? I do think so. One thing to consider, you know, is Iris Energy is running while the others aren't really doing a whole lot, at least as of recently. Today's kind of a different story. But what happens when Bitcoin rises in price and the Bitcoin miners that have large Bitcoin holdings rally while iren, who has no Bitcoin holdings, is it going to run as much against a Bitcoin that is rallying? That's the major question you have to ask. My point is, be careful with a stock like iren that's ripping, that's becoming overbought, that people are piling into, people are catching the FOMO bug. Meanwhile, you have a stock like Cleanspark that's setting up, like it always has for the last few months, you know, and a perfect support zone for you to load up on, to then either swing into the 20s or take advantage of this accumulation opportunity. And remember, it doesn't have to be all or nothing, you know. I do think it's a great idea to have a mixed bag of Bitcoin miners. They do tend to run at different times. You can take advantage of one and sell while taking advantage of another and buy. Now I do want to mention BTBT. This one's having a nice run today. A little over 10% up day. BTBT was definitely due. Looks like we're continuing our ascending channel. We might find resistance on it here before retracing a little bit, but continuing our general uptrend. We're now above both moving averages. One thing I want to see is I want to see the 50, this red one, cross the green one. If we can see a golden cross, that would be another great sign for BTBT. I also want to see it break its previous top here, but I do think it's going to go and try to break its previous recent highs. Follow the trend. It does look like BTBT is going to continue its uptrend. I do think $3 psychological resistance will be an important level to break. Now I want to mention TeraWulf. TeraWulf is running 19%. Watch out, because you'll hear people saying TeraWulf is the new iren. When you see these stocks run, you want to take advantage when they're down. You don't want to take advantage when they're already running 19%. You take advantage during the pullback. You take advantage while the market was pricing in the halving. But TeraWulf is having a wonderful day here. It looks like it's filling out its pattern still. It'll probably find resistance right around this 260 and fill out this pattern. This long-standing pattern that TeraWulf has been stuck in. I do think once it breaks out, we are going to see a big breakout. One reason this may be running just like iren is the market believes that iren and TeraWulf are going to see a profitable quarter. It is expected in the upcoming earnings. Funny enough, TeraWulf expects a decrease in revenue. I mean, many do. That's okay. Halving took effect. But here's the thing. TeraWulf reported a loss last quarter before the halving was in effect. Why would they post a profit this quarter after the halving cut rewards in half? I would be very cautious with a miner like TeraWulf expecting a profitable quarter when a stock like Cleanspark, for example, when a stock like BTBT, for example, when a stock like Riot, like Mara, are expecting unprofitability in this earnings. This is the first earnings since miners get their rewards cut in half. So for a TeraWulf to expect a profitable quarter while many others don't expect it, and while TeraWulf reported an unprofitable quarter last earnings while others did post a profitable quarter, I would be very cautious with a TeraWulf. I'm going to keep an eye on TeraWulf and look for a breakout of this pattern. I do think if we see a breakout, we will see a big move. That could be a great trade. And iren is just continuing up its pattern. Eventually it will find resistance here and it will start pulling back. And that's when everyone's going to say dump iren and buy something else, when in reality on the pullback they should be buying iren. Instead, people are buying it while it's overbought on the chart. What happened last time it was overbought? We saw a big drop. What happened last time it was overbought? We saw a big drop. Last time here it was overbought. We saw a big drop. What's going to happen here? Who knows? If history is any indication, we are going to see some better prices for iren. Let me know what you guys think about Cleanspark's mining update. I'm very happy to see their efficiency continue to improve. This is definitely going to help them out now that the rewards have took miners' production in half. And it's really nice to see a day like this for the Bitcoin miners. We are going to see more days like this. It is going to be a very fun rest of this year. Hopefully you guys took advantage of the dips right around the halving. I do think future buying opportunities are limited and we need to jump on them. Let me know how you feel about iren, about Cleanspark, about TeraWulf, about BTBT, whatever miner you want to talk about. Let me know how you're feeling about it down below. How are you feeling about the Bitcoin miners in general? And how much longer are you going to be a buyer? Thanks as always for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.